I guess looks better. No, I was supposed to start with the camera up, but fuck it. We'll risk actually, getting the video taken down again. In fact, why don't we make this a test run? We can make this the test run. Let's see what happens. Could be. Let me check some real quick, talking about the camera. All right. We got the echo voice thing coming through the avatar. Okay, cool. What the hell was that? I'm getting fucking. What is it? Oh, okay. I don't know why, but my email. Okay, just now. Now live in your channel, the closing hour. Okay, because I didn't fucking know that already. It's not like I'm here talking to the goddamn microphone after all. Holy shit. How's everybody doing? Speaking of which, it is a closing hour. Actually, as we started this, it depends on where you are, but right now would actually be where people right now are calling closing time. Hence the name, the closing hour. See what I did there? As I pour myself some drinks in the background. Nothing crazy, just a margarita that's going to be diluted with a bit of Nick Shoelander. If you're still around, if you're still alive listening, check this brand out. Truly, and you happen to like Twisted Teas, we talked about this before on the show. Check out Truly's. They have a tea line. Don't know if you can see that. I'm still new to this whole being on fucking camera thing, so give me a break. Truly's has a tea line. It's gonna be more expensive than Twisted Tea, but nowhere near as much sugar as the Twisted Teas would have. I'm gonna try it out. They're not too bad. I actually think I will do a comparison between this and the actual Twisted Tea, and I don't know. See how sweet one is compared to the other one. See how much I like one versus the other. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even have the blinds open, let alone the, what do you call it? The fans going. Kind of found out that doesn't really matter too much as far as cigar smoke goes. Hell, I could smoke the entire damn cigar here. I could probably smoke cigar after cigar and shit would disappear. Like, it's nowhere near like actual, not tobacco, but what do you call it? Not like cigarettes. Let's put it that way. Definitely will need it in the coming summer months, but not needed as far as smoke goes specifically. Again, it's not like cigarette smoke. It's something that's pleasant, if it even lingers around to begin with. So this tonight's cigar is an Oliva. Shout out to Rob Says. Melanio Gran Reserva. He didn't turn me on to Oliva, but he made me realize that was a good brand. Because the second show that he was on, the second and last show he was ever on for the End Times Report, he recognized it and he told me that was a good one to find. This is one I saw at, what was it? Got matches. Oh yeah, for offering me matches there. Fremont Cigar and Vape. They're in obviously Fremont, the Fremont area of Seattle. It's not a city, but it's kind of a neighborhood or whatever. Okay, I didn't do too much damage to the skin because it's not leaking oxygen or anything. Put a nice hole in that. It's got a bit of sweetness to it, actually. It's sweet. It's mild. Hey, isn't that a kind of one of those cheap cigar brands? Sweet and mild? Something like that. No, Black and Mild. That's what it is. Whatever. That's what this is. Not bad. I'll tell you, and again, just because this is the subject matter, hey, I guess it kind of segues into that. The reason I got into cigars specifically was the bars that I would go to, for the most part, there would be karaoke bars or they'd have music section or like they have live music, they have a DJ. And so therefore you can't hear anybody if you actually try to talk to them. But every bar has a smoking section. And so there you can go, to actually talk to people. You go behind a door and there you can actually talk to them because they can actually fucking hear you. The problem, well, for me being in LA, because I didn't go to bars when I, before my actual drinking years, or clubs rather. I guess it's another one thrown on the list. Clubs always going to be loud because you got a DJ and they've playing music for people to dance on the floor and all this other shit. Ask me how I know. Clubs also would have smoking areas. Now, if you're under 21, you can't buy a drink at the club. I did eventually get to the age of 21. I did get that, but it's still weird being the person who is outside in the smoking section, but isn't smoking. Now, it was true back when I was in LA. Never had that problem really in June Lake because the smoking section was just on the fucking steps and nobody fucking went out there, or they just went out in the front. Throw them a quick plug. Tiger Bar Cafe. Had I wanted to, that is one place I could have gotten laid from. Damn me for being fucking loyal. Jesus. Hell, my own fucking Hot Russian X wasn't loyal. Why should have I have been? Fuck, man. Oh, well. Whatever. At least I can say I tried. At least I can say I did it. But the bars are up here that used to be local. You know, the Spunky Monkey, the Rainbow Cafe, the one that's on 15th Street. I can't remember. It was the Performance Bar or something. And it's big. It has a big pool room. Because it's meant for pool players. They have like big tournaments and shit there, but still a bar. Funny enough, I actually thought about this today. And, you know, aside from how many times I had to go to the bars, like I actually got laid out of going through all three of those bars. The Slump Buster and who the fuck was it? Can't remember. From the Spunky Monkey. Rainbow Cafe, that's where I ended up running as a bowl of chaos after the fucking engine nearly falling out of my car incident. And then we went to the Spunky Monkey afterwards. Oh, the endowed blonde nurse who's coming back up here this June, apparently. In part because of me. Also met her there at the Spunky Monkey. That was the one. And then the 22-year-old, or almost 22-year-old, at the bar that was on 15th Street. The only bar that's in that area that I'm not 86 from. And just a quick thing of that, the only reason I think that was a complete freak accident. I guess maybe they were transitioning. They were just there for like a week or something. And the place that they were in, it had a bed and it had bar stools and no other furniture. And how do I know this? Because her friend passed out on the couch, meaning that was the only furniture you can actually fuck on. And after bending her over the fucking bar, we ended up on the fucking carpet. And I think I still have the fucking scars from that shit to this day. Now think about it, that's kind of impressive. I got lays out of all the bars that I went to there. That's pretty cool. None of the ones here though, but that's another story for another time. Back to the smoking section thing. Kind of weird, even if you are drinking, it's kind of weird to be the only one there not smoking. So, and I remember hearing this back when I listened to Steven Crowder. He had on a guy called what was it? The guy that runs Prager University, whatever his name is. Last name Prager, I guess. They weren't talking about politics or education or anything like that. They were talking about cigar smoking. And I'll be dead honest, I haven't looked it up as of yet, but I say, just having a cigar a week, 2 cigars a week, maybe 3. I think the most I've ever had was like 4 a week. And that's because it was a busy week. And it's not something that I have to do. It's just something, it's a nice thing to have. It's a luxury item. Really. This one definitely is mild, by the way. I don't know if I'm gonna get through the whole thing for this show. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be a very long show, to be honest with you, based on the last one I did. But there were actual benefits. I can't remember what they were, and I haven't looked it up. So you know what? We could look this up now. We'll do a quick search on the interwebs. Why not? Okay. AccuWeather Solomon's going to get to 4 degrees Celsius because I have it set to Australian language. Benefit I have more than one device, by the way. Third one on the way. Hopefully that will lead to me being able to get the shows back to normal. Hopefully. Let's just type that in. Cigar smoking. Cigar smoking benefits. It's bad to smoke cigars every day. That was the other thing that popped up. Okay. First thing that pops up. Cigar smoking can cause lung cancer and heart disease. Fun fact, you don't inhale cigars, first of all. So how it could cause lung cancer, I don't know. I knew this was going to happen. This is one of those things that you actually will have to dive in really deep and actually do some research. Things that I have to do. When I do all the research for, like health things, nutrition, saturated fat, cholesterol, protein, salt, all that kind of shit, I have to really dig deep and find the actual fucking research. So when I put those things on my website, thegoddamnbacon.com, if you haven't found it already, I'm the one that's done that research. Because I have to get past all the horseshit that's going to pop up at the first search you end up finding. Just so you know. And that's why I haven't talked about the science behind cigars, the science behind CBD, the science behind booze. Actually, booze I could talk about, but I think I have already. Because I did do the research behind it. But I don't make it official until I can actually officially find the sources that prove what I'm saying. Therefore, I haven't had a special position on this particular type of tobacco, or I guess since it's here, this particular type of tobacco smoked during Rock Revival Review. But there you go, right off the bat. Causes lung cancer, even though you don't inhale it. By the way, try to inhale a fucking cigar. See how well that goes. Ask Amos Joseph how he knows. I got to see that shit in fucking person. That was hilarious. I wonder if he still has a cigar, if he smoked it or not. I don't know. Yeah, tobacco use increase the risk of fertility, stillbirth, and low birth. All right. Okay. Oh, that's by the CDC, so go fuck yourself. Fuck them. I'm going to guess I'm not going to be able to find it. Wait, hang on. We got a cigar aficionado. What we got here? When it comes to smoking, I guess we cigar lovers constitute one of the last beleaguered minorities. I don't know about that. Everybody who's met a cigar smoker who's smoking the cigars seems to love them. Ask me how I know. Speaking of which, I need another drink. Yeah, even among smokers, the habit has been a source of conflict. I don't suppose anybody who remembers who Graham Lee Heminger was. Well, in 1915, that would contribute to why no one knows who he is. He was the fellow who wrote at the age of 19 these prescient words: "Tobacco is a dirty weed. I like it. It satisfies no normal need. I like it. All right. Makes you thin and makes you lean and takes the hair right off your bean." I don't know what that means. It's the worst darn stuff I've ever seen like it. Kind of sounds like Joe Curl. Joe Curl actually worked in a on tobacco farm, so he doesn't like cigars and tobacco and all that stuff. I'm out of fucking bitters. So if I have to make another drink, I'm gonna go off screen. I'll probably take a piss too. Probably never gonna get to the point of what I actually want to talk about, but this is too good. Today, the media, doctors, health politicians, and even our wives, husbands, or significant others keep telling us that tobacco is not only dirty, but just about all forms of it are dangerous. Ask me how I know. When Bola Cow started smoking cigars, she raised those same questions. Just saying. The important questions, of course, are compared to what and exactly how dangerous. He's at that. Those are the right questions. Compared to what? That is a philosophy 101 question. Compared to what? And how dangerous? That's a good proxy. There are hundreds of studies that attempt to define the specific degree of risk that smoking entails in relation to a variety of health problems. These studies date back at least 50 years, when the striking similarity between the increase of cigarette sales and the incidence of primary lung cancer were first noted. Keep in mind, you inhale cigarettes. You don't inhale these. And you don't inhale these. Those two are not like the first one. I'm just saying. More on that later. In case you're wondering, I did use the same thumbnail for this video as the same one for boozing done right. It's the same one as a picture that I took of all the fucking booze that I had packed up and saved and all that stuff for the 3 or 4 night stay in Salt Lake City, where we got to go meet the guys from Masculine Geek, Rob Says, TJ Martinell, all those people. Why not? I figured it was fitting. We're talking about vices here, and that happens to be one of mine. After scanning the many subsequent investigations detailed in the scientific literature, only a simpleton or a self-deceiver could deny that cigarette smoking is implicated in the etiology of all sorts of nasty ills of the flesh, cancer of the mouth, pharynx, larynx, esophagus, and lungs, other pulmonary problems such as chronic bronchitis and emphysema, various disorders of the heart and vascular system, stomach ulcers, and too many more to list of these The effects of smoking on coronary heart disease and on lung cancer have been most extensively studied and appear to be the most serious from a public health point of view. I can only fucking imagine. Boy, it's windy out there. Wind advisory is supposed to end at like 10 o'clock here. It's now almost midnight. And it's still windy out there. And I'm glad the windstorm came through here, actually. Here's why. My buddy, she didn't do it on purpose, but she accidentally stood me up, or at least that's what it looks like on paper. And I actually do believe her. She's a busy woman. What can I say? So I was going to go to her compound, just hang out. We are going to drink some beers and just talk and probably argue and all that shit. And, you know, told that, never got a reply. And I figured, hey, she's busy. She's got other things to do. So what I did was I hammered out the article that I wanted to write. And I'm listening to other people do podcasts. And I'm not saying, it's real fucking windy outside. Again, hence the wind advisory. And I'm starting to feel wind come through. I'm like, okay, I thought it insulated everything. Apparently not. So I found several spots. Only got 2 directions where I can have windows here. Which does kind of suck if you like the scenery, but good if you like simplicity. And so I went ahead and managed to seal most of that stuff off. One of the windows is kind of loose in its frame. I got that taken care of. All of the windows, they could be taken out. I went ahead and sealed all that shit because I'm not taking the windows out at any time soon. Let's just put it that way. So I got that taken care of. And I'm glad the windstorm came through and kind of showed me that, hey, especially since the next few days is going to be dropping to like the 20s. No, go ahead and sell this shit. Here's where wind is coming through. Okay, wind's coming through here. I can go ahead and seal it. There we go. Winning. Huh. I only have that set at 300 and still kicking back off. Must be near freezing outside, I guess. All right. Where to leave off? Vaccine disease, lung cancer. Okay, here we go. But even here, the connection is hardly 1-to-1. Not all who smoke develop these disorders, and not all who develop them smoke. An important distinction, actually. In the United States, 4 out of 5 deaths from heart disease occur among non-smokers. We may have talked about that here before on this very program. Maybe not this very program, but at thegoddamnbacon.com, look up, what was it? Metabolic something? I can't remember exactly what it was. Hell, just type in metabolic in the search bar and it should pop right up. Metabolic issue is explained. I can't remember what it is now. Probably look it up now, but I'm not. You can find it. My audience is smart enough and concentrated enough. You can find it. Got a nice cherry on this now. I have no vested interest here. I'm just smoking a cigar while talking about why cigar smoking is okay. That's all. Nothing fishy going on here. Same with alcohol later. That's coming up. All right, where will you off? Now we'll develop these Zors and all of them who don't smoke. In the United States, 4 out of 5 deaths come from heart disease occur among non-smokers. That's probably because of metabolic syndrome. Oh, there we go. Metabolic syndrome explained. That's what it's called. Hell, you just look up metabolic or just metabolic syndrome. Type that into the search bar, and that will be there. Nick Schulander is... Hell, he's still alive. I was wondering where the hell he was. What are these vices you speak of? One of these. I'm going to take explanation of that at some point. Isn't it past your bedtime, by the way? Not that I don't mind you tuning in, but hey. Whatever. To each your own. No biggie for me. The fuck did I leave off? I'm smoking more serious, but still far from universal. When it looks at lung cancer. Okay, that's where we left off. Looks for lung cancer. 10% of the men, 30% of the women who get this disease have never smoked. The experts are reduced to saying that there are wide differences in susceptibility, but that doesn't explain the particular anomaly of Buerger's disease. Okay, that wasn't even brought up earlier. I don't know where the fuck that came from. An inflammatory disorder of the blood vessels, or the blood vessels in the lungs and the heart. What does that mean? Although this disorder seems to occur only in smokers, primarily men, in recent years, its frequency of occurrences has decreased drastically, far more than would be expected from any concurrent decrease in cigarette smoking. Thus, many risk factors other than smoking have been implicated in almost all of these illnesses. Including smog, industrial pollution, automobile emissions. Okay, here we go. Wood and coal fires, carcinogens, and building materials, poor diet. Well, now we're hitting more on the fucking head. Obesity, physical inactivity, stress, certain types of behavioral patterns and personalities, genetic history, and whatever else might turn up in the New England Journal of Medicine. I think the ones that showed up here later might have more of a fucking point. And we'll get to my just general thing of history in a moment, but I guess we'll just hear this out. Nevertheless, cigarettes pose a definite danger, and face it, don't even afford that much pleasure. Cigarettes are a relatively new thing, by the way. Just my 2 cents. Cigars have been around for a while. Tobacco has been around for a very long while. So is alcohol, so is wine, so is beer, so is weed. So a lot of them have. So has cocaine, actually, believe it or not. We'll get to that. Oh, once in a while after a hike or a good meal, when you've been under unusual pressure, the first drag tastes like ambrosia. I don't know what that means. Is it a plant? Mostly cigarette smoking is a bad habit, quite possibly a true addiction in many users. Even the low nicotine filter variety just postpones eventual trouble. Excuse me. I gave those coffin nails a decade ago. Yeah, I still enjoy the occasional pipe or cigar. Pipes are effective stress reducers, like cigars, Like nothing else I know. I never smoked because I wanted to reduce my stress, by the way. Just saying. Unquestionably provide rare sensual pleasure. Well, they can do that. Just like me, ask me how I know. After a great dinner, along with the port, brandy, or B&B, there is nothing else that can add to the right finishing touch that fitting coda. But a fine cigar from Havana, Honduras, or the Dominican Republic. By the way, they're not wrong. The best cigars from maybe not Cuba, that's where Havana is. But the other two have had cigars from there, and they're not bad. They're pretty good, actually, despite their price. I'm still kicking myself in the ass for not taking the goddamn cigars when I had the opportunity to get a literal fucking hand rolled cigar from the guys when I was literally in the Dominican Republic. Just because I didn't smoke back then because, it means I didn't get it for the winning. No. How much change to the health end does after getting a cigar until? Jesus Christ, how fucking long does this go on for? I got more shit to get to. We might cut this short. I'm gonna change it. Okay, it's not that long. We'll slog through this. How much change to the health then does an after cigar, dinner cigar entail? Computerized review. Okay, here and there's a problem. Of all recent scientific investigations consider cigar smoking as opposed to cigarette smoking, and there are only 2 dozen good ones considering the risk factors substantially lower for those who smoke pipes and cigars than for those who smoke cigarettes. Risk is not a great deal higher, in fact, than for non-smokers, including those who have never smoked. Okay, great. Shit, I knew already. This being cigar aficionado, you think they get to the goddamn benefits, but apparently not. I'm gonna have to fucking look that up specifically, just like I have had to do with everything fucking else, because they can't get to the fucking point. Is there a benefit? Yes or no? You said yes. Then give me the fucking point. It is true the Muslims research has been undertaken in foreign lands as the virus in Denmark and Brazil, England and China, because the Chinese are known for their fucking cigars, right? Where the environmental circumstances, lifestyle, situational awareness, and hereditary influence is very different, even types of tobacco and methods of smoking may vary. In Asian countries, for instance, those who do not smoke cigarettes often use water pipes. The risk of lung cancer appears to be only slightly higher than that for non-smokers. Using water pipes, really? Oh yeah, it's slightly higher than that in non-smoker. Okay, yeah, because the water is going to carry a lot of the carcinogens away. Again, if you're going to smoke weed, do it via bong because the water carries a lot of the smoke and bad shit away, essentially. It's the same thing. This is staying lit. I just want to make sure it still has a good cherry to it. But whether or not you inhale seems to be more important than how many cigars you smoke. You don't inhale cigars! I said that at the beginning. One rigorous study shows that self-reports of inhalation are consistent and valid when measured by expired air, carbon monoxide levels, an excellent indicator of toxicity. I don't know what the fuck that means. Primary pipe and cigar smokers report they do not inhale at levels about the same as those of non-smokers. Again, it's possible you could put yourself at risk for mouth cancer, and that's about it. Lung cancer is non-existent because you don't fucking inhale these. Anyone who knows what the fuck they're doing when they talk about cigars knows you don't inhale them. If you inhale, duration in years plays an important part. Obviously, the longer you smoke, the higher the risk. But even here, it's clear within 2 or 3 years after you quit smoking, your risk of heart attack declines to levels similar to those who have never smoked, regardless of the quantity smoked or the duration of the habit. That probably counts at the quality of what you're smoking too. Again, you never lose money buying quality. And if you're buying cigars, chances are you're buying quality. Unless it's from a gas station, but that's a discussion for another time. And it's been demonstrated that the sales growth of cigars, unlike that of cigarettes, has never approached a strong statistical association with the incidence of these various health-related problems. When it all comes down to this risk-benefit ratio, as Sacred Sport pointed out many years ago, all of us are constantly making decisions, consciously or unconsciously, trying to balance the risk of pain versus the benefit of pleasure in our behaviors. We consider the risk of failure versus the benefit of success, of punishment versus reward, of derogation versus appropriation, of suffering discomfort or botching the job or listening negative response versus comfort, mastery of affection. Jesus Christ, you guys had to use a lot of fucking words. The unwillingness to face any risk is, in the end, if not impossible, at least an acceptance of a zombie-like existence. I have an article coming up about that. And an abdication of challenge. Jesus, I need a smoke break just to get past that. Most of us have mixed feelings about taking risks in some areas. Oh, they have mixed feelings. Ask for women having risky sex with me, how they know. In some areas, as the president of Princeton stated in his commencement address a couple of years ago, American society has become too risk averse for its own good. No shit. Yet more than half of the men and a fifth of the women. Note the disparity there, by the way. Recently surveyed by Shearson Lehman and the Roper Organization said they have at some time actually risked losing their lives by driving too fast or recklessly riding a motorcycle without a helmet, voluntary for hazardous military missions, or engaged in dangerous sports. Okay. Obviously, some reasonable degree of prudence in the choice of risk makes sense. With smoking cigars, that would certainly seem to fall in the acceptable category. My father-in-law, who lived to be 97 in marvelous health, attributed his longevity to the fact that he finally gave us smoke cigars at the age of 90. All right. If you too wish to continue smoking cigars for the maximum pleasure and minimum health risk, buy those, what did I just say here, of decent quality, limit yourself to 2 or 3 a day and don't hell. By the way, I don't smoke that many. Not even close. It's like 2 or 3 a week, maybe 4. And I've heard that case. People will bring up what's his name, General Grant. I think he's on the $50 bill or something like that. He's the guy that helped win the fucking Civil War, and he's famed. He's famed for dying of lung cancer, or mouth cancer, or throat cancer, or some shit like that, because he always smokes cigars. Here's the thing that you weren't told. He was so beloved by people that he was sent like 15, 20 cigars a fucking day. And so he felt obligated to smoke them every fucking day. Now, if you're just smoking the cigar every other week or every week or maybe a few a week or something like that, that's one thing. If you're smoking 16 cigars a day, every fucking day, that's a whole nother fucking matter. It's like the guy couldn't get through his own fucking stash. So take that into consideration. Again, these guys did not get into the actual fucking benefits. I'm kind of regretting reading into this. What about the rights to others? What does that matter? You're smoking your own damn cigar. We are asked this question by all of our non-smoking friends and relatives. Secondary tobacco smoke is clearly very bad for infants, young children, and for the developing fetus and persons who are exposed in a confined space or other over a considerable period of time. Ask the woman who wanted me to blow cigar smoke in her face how they know. I don't know. Otherwise, any evidence is still pretty questionable. Even the so-called allergy to tobacco is debatable. I don't know about that. There is no scientific evidence at all to support the claim that the wisp of smoke left in the air by a cigar smoker can cause cancer or heart disease to non-smokers. No fucking shit. It's like saying the fucking smell of peanut butter in the air is going to trigger somebody's allergic reaction because they're allergic to peanut butter. It's fucking retarded. As a professor from the Emory University Medicinal School in Atlanta wrote in the pages of the esteemed Journal of the American Medical Association, something I've taken down quite a few times. No hard data exists to demonstrate that secondary side stream smoke from cigars and pipes is dangerous. What the zealots who object really mean is that the sight and smell of other people smoking offends or irritation morally, physically, or emotionally. No fucking shit! Hey, calling me shots! That's something I couldn't have seen coming. Oh, they're offended by smoke. Doesn't matter where it comes from. Here's my shock face. Really? These fucking retards are pissed off because I'm smoking something and they aren't. Yeah, okay. Yet we are all irritated or offended by a lot of things in everyday life. Some of them even dangerous. Think cry babies in the movie theaters. I think that's even more. I take the fucking cigarette smoke more than the babies crying. Just between you and me. Drunks with full wine in your new suit. Depends on the drunks you have them sitting next to you. Twilight joggers on the roadway. Crooked politicians. Otherwise known as politicians. Companies that pollute our streams of force, you get the idea. Of course, non-smokers should have the right to limit my smoking to restricted areas as long as those areas are reasonably convenient and comfortable. and I should have the right to continue smoking my pipe and her cigar in those areas where it won't or shouldn't bother them. Recent English study showed that although a lot of people have given up tobacco, most who still smoke are quite willing to respect the right of others. And again, here's my shock face. If their own rights are respected, again, here's my shock face. Courtesy, friendship, the golden mean of moderation, and a good cigar after the tornadoes and the Chatel Lafitte. I don't know what that means. That civilization in its finest flower. Okay, and there's the end of that article. God damn, I'm glad I got rid of that. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to take a piss and grab another thing of bitters. You guys hang on. All right, there you go. What the fuck? That's the second one I've heard here. Now, I live under the arrival flight line of the local base, and maybe it's another airport, some that I'm not aware of. I think I actually was made aware of, but I need to look it up. But I'm hearing more kind of commuter planes, more not commercial, but smaller planes. And I know the sound of those versus the other ones. They've been flying in recently, and I'm not sure why. That has been real fucking odd. As I fuck up the mic. Sorry for the mic noise. Well, there you go. There's your read on these cigars. I don't know if it's still lit, but I'm gonna give it another blast of heat. I was hoping that article would give me some benefits of smoking cigars, and I know there are, but it's one of those things I'm gonna have to search for, just like everything else. But as far as vices go, if it's a vice I'm going to chase, and there's my belief that If you're gonna have a vice, it should at least have a benefit to you. And therefore, that's why I choose what I have a vice in. I have a vice for cigars. Cigars do have benefit. I haven't looked them up yet. I know they do. Hence, why humans have been chasing tobacco for 5, 6, 7,000 years. This is why I drink specific drinks, by the way. Hence why humans have chased that 5, 6, 7,000 years. And for those of you who like the marijuana, I'm not gonna say whether I partake in that or not, but it also has been around for 5, 6, 7,000 fucking years. There's a basis for that. There's a reason that humanity chose that. And so if it's something that humanity has chosen before, that's what I go for. I'm not doing meth. I'm not doing bath salts. I'm not doing a lot of the other shit. And we can talk about the other parts of addiction later. But my personal philosophy, every man, every woman is going to have their vice. And if you're going to have a vice, it should have a benefit for you. At least to the point that it outweighs any liability that it might have for you. Then again, I think ahead as far as this kind of thing goes. Do most people do? No. And henceforth, you get the response videos of the people who see other people that have their vices and I guess they misuse them, they abuse them, they over pursue them, whatever you want to call it. It consumes their lives. It could be both. Who knows? My father, just to be honest, he can't drink anymore. We used to be able to drink together, and it was nice, and it was actually it was a bonding moment that we used to be able to have. One of the things we had here is we have Elysian Brewing, and they make the Men's Room Red. Men's Room is a radio show here, and definitely is worth checking out. mensroomlive.com. So for several years, what the Men's Room would do, or Elysian, the brewery, they make the Men's Room original red, but they would make, it was a special order Men's Room black. It was always different. And up until this year, I don't think they made it this year, but I have the past 4 years sitting in the fridge. At least one of the bottles from them. And one of the things I wanted to do was spend time with my dad, and we could split the beers and just try them. But we can't anymore because he can't drink anymore. Serious shit. He can't drink anymore because apparently he went too far with the alcohol. I don't know how he did it. I can take a wild guess, but I'm not going to. But he did it a couple of times and now he can't drink anymore. And so now I just have the bottles sitting in the fridge waiting for what? Maybe just me to drink? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But he can't do them anymore. He had the problems with alcohol. And who knows if that'll happen to me? Maybe it will. And even if it does, you know what? I'll just stop drinking. It's nothing that's necessary to me. It's just a nicety. It's an add-on. I can do other things. But he has that problem, so he can't drink anymore. So I'll have to find out other things to do with those beers. That's somebody that I know who has actually had to deal with actual addiction, physical addiction. Not all this horseshit that most people are talking about. With a lot of things. That's coming up in the moment. But to close that out, if you know what you're doing, as I would say I do, you don't have to worry about it. It's what you choose to drink is a choice. And if it's a vice, you find a way to make that vice work for you and as a health benefit. Wasn't able to find it for this, the cigar or whatever. But that's going to take some searching anyways. I knew that going in. So I drink, I smoke, and I smoke other things. And that I'm just going to let that just be mysterious. You know what it means. But I'm not going to put it out there. By the way, if you like the CBD thing, you want to know one of the benefits of actually taking that is? It's the same as coffee and is the same as saturated fat. Believe it or not, I did the research on this and compiled the research, but I should have already. It helps prevent any damage that alcohol can do to your liver. It protects against that, amongst other things. Just saying. So if you're going to pick a vice, pick one that has benefits. That's the whole point of this. Now, about addiction, to any of them, drinking, smoking, doing drugs, the question is why? And no one ever fucking asks that question. They just focus on what the situation is. Fine, I'm here and I'm smoking this cigar. I'm drinking this drink. Do I need this cigar? No, I don't. Do I need this drink? No, I don't. They're simply complements to my life. They're simply add ons. They're a nicety. It makes my life even better than it was because I chose to add it to me. And so that's me. Vices that I have. They're just compliments. If you have the vices that you kind of need to take care of or have to be addressed because you couldn't live without them, then there's a problem. Again, the question is why? Why did you end up in this situation to begin with? And it really doesn't matter which kind of issue you end up with. It could be physical. Maybe it's masturbation. That's one that's talked about all the fucking time. Maybe it's getting attention on social media. Maybe it's video games. Maybe it's watching porn. That's one that's been talked about a lot. You want to know how many times I watch porn today? And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it's relevant. I watched porn twice today with the express purpose of masturbating to orgasm. Yes, I did. Call me wrong all you want, but that's what I did. I did it today. And yesterday I did at least once. I look for things that were specific. Cream pie and a woman. Cream pie swallows. She swallowed a fucking load. And I've done both. Ask me how I know. But you know what? I have things to do that day. Sure. I spent my time masturbating to porn because I wanted to. There have been days where I thought I might have wanted to, and then I had other things to do, and I went ahead and did those things anyways. I went ahead and did other things. I didn't stop to watch porn. I didn't masturbate it and didn't come to it. And you guys miss a lot of the fucking nuance that comes with that. Sure, you can watch porn, but you don't have to. It's just there. A lot of times I had other things to fucking take care of. And I went and took care of them. I'm not beholden to porn. I don't have to fucking watch it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to play video games. I don't have to do any of the other things that people get their fucking endorphin hits from because they couldn't get them from making actual fucking achievements. And that's one of the things that I think most of you fucks get wrong. So fine. Maybe I like watching porn. Because that's easier than going out and getting the girls. Maybe. But that's one of the reasons nonetheless. Maybe I like playing video games. Maybe I like watching movies. That's just a supplement, and I know that because I spend all my other time putting time in the fucking field. Do you make that distinction, or do you just lump all of us in that fucking same camp? That everyone who watches porn, everyone who plays video games, everyone who chases a fucking dopamine hit, that doesn't really have to be earned. And I understand that. But you're still doing the same fucking thing. Are you still attacking us all in the same fucking vein? Really? Just saying. There's a little bit more nuance there that you might want to actually put forth there. Okay, there's going to be guys who do nothing but masturbate to whoever is on screen. There's going to be guys with maybe I'll do it every once in a while. And it's for fun. But I'm still pursuing and I'll still get the girls, basically. Are you going to make that fucking distinction? I'm just saying. You know what? I got other things going on. I'm making fucking investments. Do you make a distinction between that and people who don't? I'm making more money than them. Do you make a distinction between that? I have other things going on aside from the girls. And I think I'm rather famous for saying this now. I got better shit to do. If a girl wants me to pay attention to her, then she has to fucking earn it. Do you take that into consideration? I'm just saying. Have you taken that into consideration? I am my own person, and I will never give that up. Why you lump me in with these fucking assholes? I don't know. But that says a lot more about you than it says about me. I'm just saying. That's it. When it is here, it's been a very nice chat. Only a few interactions, but that's fine. Thanks for taking the time about this. Until next time, and stay free, keep it tactical, and above all else, be chaos, my friends.